There's a money habit you probably did this month that feels completely normal to you and would genuinely shock a Swiss person. Not offend, shock. And here's the uncomfortable part. The more financially normal your life looks by American standards, the more of these 7 you're probably doing. Today, we're going through 7 everyday American money habits that Switzerland, the country with one of the highest household savings rates on Earth, quietly considers reckless. Stay with me, because number 4 is the one Americans defend the hardest, and number 7 will flip how you think about wealthy people entirely. One thing first, so this makes sense. Switzerland isn't rich because of banks and chocolate. Ordinary Swiss households save roughly 20% of their disposable income, among the highest rates in the developed world, while the American personal savings rate has hovered in the low single digits for most of recent years. Same planet, same century, completely different relationship with money. That difference isn't income. It's 7 daily decisions made differently. Let's go through every one. Habit 1, carrying a credit card balance. In America, revolving credit card debt is background noise. Total balances have passed $1 trillion, and the average interest rate sits above 20%. Paying the minimum feels like paying. Here's how Switzerland sees that same behavior. Credit cards exist there. Plenty of people have one, but they're mostly paid in full every month, automatically. Carrying a balance month to month is rare and quietly embarrassing, the way bouncing a check used to feel here. And the Swiss are blunt about the math. At 20% interest, a $20 meal you don't pay off isn't a $20 meal. Roll it long enough, and it's a $40 meal you already ate. A balance isn't a payment method. It's renting your own lifestyle from a bank at the worst rate legally allowed. The fix is boring, and it works. The card gets paid in full on an automatic payment every month, and if it can't be, the card takes a vacation in a drawer. That's one. Number 2 is sitting in your driveway. Habit 2, financing a new car. The average new car payment in America has passed $700 a month, often stretched over 6 or 7 years. Loans longer than the excitement, on an object that loses value the moment it moves. In Switzerland, one of the richest countries alive, the everyday attitude toward cars is strangely modest. Many households skip owning one entirely because the trains run on time. But here's the deeper habit. Big purchases get saved for first, then bought. The Swiss question isn't, what's the monthly payment? It's, what does it cost in total? And do I have it? Those are different questions, and the monthly payment question is designed to hide the answer to the second one. Your version doesn't require selling your car tomorrow. It requires one promise. The next car gets bought with money that already exists. Buy used, buy smaller, buy later. A car you own outright changes how your whole month feels. That's 2. Number 3 happens every single day before noon. Habit 3, the daily bought lunch and the daily bought coffee. $12 here, $6 there, every workday. And it doesn't register as spending because no single day looks expensive. Run the math once, and it stings. $15 a workday is close to $4,000 a year after tax. In Swiss offices, the packed lunch is completely unremarkable. So is the thermos. Nobody reads it as poverty. And that's the part worth staring at. In a country where almost everyone could afford the restaurant, bringing your own is read as having your act together. Now, the Swiss aren't anti-pleasure. They're anti-leak. A planned coffee with a friend on Saturday is pleasure. The forgettable weekday latte, bought on autopilot and gone in 10 minutes, is a leak. The difference between the two is whether you'd remember it a week later. Your version: pack lunch 3 days a week and keep your favorite coffee as an actual treat. Chosen, sat down for, enjoyed. You lose nothing you'll remember, and you find about $3,000 a year. That's 3. And now, habit 4, the one Americans defend the hardest. I can already feel the comments loading. Habit 4, shopping as entertainment. Be honest about what Saturday looks like. Bored, restless, maybe a little down, and the answer is a store. Or 30 minutes of scrolling with a cart filling up. Shopping as an activity. Buying as a mood repair. Here's what's actually happening. And researchers who study consumer behavior have documented it well. The dopamine hit peaks before the purchase, during the wanting, and collapses right after. That's why the package that thrilled you at checkout feels like nothing by the time it arrives. You weren't buying the object. You were buying the 10 minutes of wanting it. Switzerland has cultural guardrails that make this harder to fall into. Shops close early in the evening, and on Sunday, almost everything is shut. By law, an entire country, 1 day a week, where buying is simply not an option, and life happens anyway. Trails, lakes, family tables, walks. Nobody misses the mall by 2 in the afternoon. Your version is to give yourself the guardrail nobody will give you. 1 full day a week with no purchases, online, or off, not as punishment, as proof that your good moods don't need receipts. And for everything non-essential, a 24-hour waiting rule. Want it today, want it tomorrow, fine, buy it. Most things don't survive the night. That's 4, and it might save you more than the first 3 combined. Number 5 is in your pocket right now. Habit 5, upgrading a phone that works. Every autumn, the ritual, new model, new financing plan. $30 more a month forever, for a device barely different from the one being replaced. The average American upgrades roughly every 2.5 to 3 years. In Switzerland, phones tend to be used until they genuinely stop serving. 5, 6 years, sometimes more, and repair over replacement is normal enough that repair shops thrive. Here's the frame worth stealing. The Swiss reflex with quality goods is buy well, then use fully. A thing isn't old because a newer one exists. It's old when it stops working. A financed upgrade of a working phone means paying monthly interest to escape a device that did nothing wrong. Your version, your current phone, with a new battery if it needs one, for as long as it honestly serves. Put the $30 a month somewhere. It compounds for you instead of against you. That's 5. Number 6 you can't see at all, and that's exactly the problem. Habit 6, living without a cushion. The statistic shows up in survey after survey, including the Federal Reserve's own household reports. A large share of Americans, sometimes near 40%, would struggle to cover a $400 emergency without borrowing. No buffer, 1 flat tire, 1 dental bill, 1 bad week between the person and a credit card balance, which takes us right back to habit 1. In Switzerland, the emergency reserve is close to sacred. The common rule of thumb is 3 to 6 months of expenses, parked, boring, untouched, not invested in anything exciting, just there. And here's what people who've never had one don't know. The cushion changes you before you ever spend it. Decisions stop being made from fear. A job can be left. A repair can be paid. A bad month is just a month. The Swiss don't save like this because they expect disaster. They save like this because calm is a purchase, and this is its price. Your version starts smaller than you think. $500, automatic transfer. First day of the month, in an account you don't see daily. Then 1,000. Then 1 month of expenses. The first 500 changes more than the last 5,000. That's 6. And now, number 7, the one that flips how you read wealth itself. Habit 7, announcing money, the logo bag, the car as a business card, the renovation tour. In America, wealth is often something you perform. Signaling success is half the point of having it. Switzerland runs the opposite code, and it has a name people actually use: quiet money. The genuinely wealthy are famously invisible there. The millionaire in the train, in a plain coat, with a 20-year-old watch that happens to be excellent. Wealth whispered, never announced. Flashing money is read not as success, but as insecurity, and worse, as bad taste. And under the culture sits a brutal, mechanical truth. Every dollar spent announcing wealth is a dollar no longer building it. The person buying the image of rich and the person becoming rich are usually two different people moving in opposite directions. The status symbol is a receipt for money that left. Your version costs nothing and pays forever. Stop performing for an audience that isn't watching. Nobody thinks about your car as much as you do. Nobody. Redirect the performance budget into the invisible things: the reserve, the retirement account, the paid-off card, and let your net worth be the one thing about you that's dramatic. That's 7. So all 7 in one breath. A balance that rolls, a car on credit, lunch on autopilot, shopping as a mood, upgrading what works, no cushion, and wealth worn on the outside. None of these feel dangerous alone. Together, they're the reason two people with the same income can end up in different financial universes. Don't try to fix all 7 this week. That's a January resolution, and January resolutions die in February. Pick the one that made you look away from the screen. Just that one, for 30 days. If it's the balance, automate full payment. If it's the cushion, move 500 today. One habit, held for a month, beats 7, promised for a weekend. And now I want the honest version in the comments. Which number are you? 1 through 7, no lectures here. I've done at least 3 of them myself, and I read every comment. If someone came to mind during number 4, the Saturday shopper, send them this video. They'll laugh, then they'll think about it. See you in the next one.